Hello and welcome back. In this video, I will show you how to make and use control inputs in Unreal Engine. Let's get started. So I have here the third-person example project, and we have this third-person character blueprint. So let's open this blueprint. Now, here we can see the default code for this blueprint, but I have removed a few nodes. Firstly, I removed the jump controls and the move forward controls. Now, an easy way to set up a control would be to just right-click and type the key that you want to add. So for example, we wanted to add the space key as a control input. So we can type key and then the button you want to add. So let's say we want to add the space button. So we can type space and then we can select space bar. Then we can connect this space bar to the jump code and then we can test it out. So when I press the space bar, then the character jumps. So that's pretty simple. But let's say we wanted to add an Xbox controller to be an input. To do it the way I've just showed you, it would be very tedious because you would have to add another node for every key that you want to use. So there's another way to do this, a much better way. And the way is to go to project settings. Now if you don't see this window, it's very easy to open. Just go to the edit menu, project settings, and you should be able to find it. Now we need to add a action input, and to add it you need to go to the left side here and find the input page, and this is an action mapping that you want to add. Click on the plus and then we can rename this to jump, and then this is an array, so we can add another mapping, and now there will be two buttons that will cause a jump to happen. So we're gonna start with a spacebar, so that's pretty simple. And I don't have a controller at the moment, so I'm gonna use another key on the keyboard. So let's say the down arrow key. So this will be keyboard down. So now these two buttons will activate this jump action mapping. And to add it into the blueprint is simple. You just right click, type jump, click on the input action events and find the action mapping you just added. So now this node, we connect it to the jump code, and now when I press the spacebar, it jumps, and when I press the down arrow key, it also jumps. And if we go back to the project settings, you can also see that you have many different inputs, and you can use any kind of inputs that you want. And in this way, you just need to use one node, one action event, and then you can map multiple different controllers, keyboards, mouse to run, for example, in this case, a jump. So this is an action mapping. It's simple, it has a pressed event and a released event. That's simple. The next one is an axis mapping. This would be for example, a joystick or for movement. So in the case of WASD, we want to move forward, so we'd have W and S. So let's say we're going to add an axis mapping, so we can press the plus here. We're going to rename this to move forward, and then we're going to add another button. So in this case we're going to use W, so keyboard W, and then we're going to add S. So we're going to find the keyboard S. Now the scale. So the scale is, let's say you could say it's a range between -1 and 1, 0 being neutral. So in the case of a joystick, if you were to push the joystick to one side, fully to one side, then that would be 1. And then if you push the joystick fully to the other side, that would be -1. Simply put, that's how it works. So in this case, W is going to be forward, so we want the scale to be 1. And then S is going to be backward, so we're going to have this set to -1. Then we come in here, right click, and find this move forward event that we just created. axis event move forward. We can connect this to the add movement input. And then notice here, this node for movement input has a scale value. This scale value controls the direction that the movement is going to go to, or the character is going to move to. So this axis value connected to the scale value, and then we can play. So W moves the player forward now, and S moves the player backward. We can also see here there is a move right. This was set up already if you open the third-person example project. And this also is set up in the same way. So if we open this as an example in the project settings, move right, and notice A, the A key, so that will be the left key, is set to -1, and the D key is set to 1. And the reason for that is because the direction that the movement input is controlling for moving left to right is using the right vector. If you wanted to move to the right side of the character, you would need a scale value of 1, so you need a scale value of -1 to move in the left direction. The same thing applied for the forward vector, because a forward vector will be scale value of 1, backwards will be the scale value of -1. So that's how the axis values work. So as a quick review, to add a single button to a blueprint, you just need to right click, type in key, and then in this case I'm going to click on P, and then we'll have to search in this for the keyboard P key, and this event will be run when you press the P key on the keyboard. But if you wanted to have different controllers, then you would need to go to project settings and add either action mappings if you wanted to have one single action like a jump, or axis mappings for movement. So this is how you set up custom inputs in Unreal Engine. I hope this video can help you. If you have any questions, please comment down below, and if you have any suggestions on any tutorials I should make, please comment as well. Don't forget to like, share, and most of all, please subscribe, and please check out my Patreon in the link below. See you soon!